the revolution, things happening before it, what led up to the psychology, the evolution of the hero of the revolution that is talking to. I was thinking of one episode and remembered um, when I was seeing a girl. In fact, it was interesting. We met in the student hospital, which is right there near, was right there, but very good location. Now it would be worth a few $1,000,000, maybe, probably. Maybe 20 meters from the, or 50 from the Radisson Hotel, and right across the street from the Catholic Cathedral, that huge building which they built and they have to dismantle, I hear. A judge pronounced against it, but it's some years back and it's still there. So anyway, I had an ulcer, a duodenal ulcer, but that was not the point. What I was trying to do, I mentioned, was to extend my student years because I didn't want to finish and go out into the communist world and sit around the table and play backgammon in the middle of nowhere, like I've seen people do, engineers do. One of the communist misfortunes, calamities was that you would finish and your studies, and then they would say, okay, you go to this place and you go to the other. So there wasn't any, and then you would have to do that. Failing to comply would attract severe penalties. You couldn't be unemployed. There was vagabondage, vagrancies. I'm laughing, but it was a real thing. I remember my cousin Serena. What a good connection we've had to begin with. But then in later years, something terrible happened. While I was working with both AT&T and Meta, that's already post-revolution, jumping ahead in the future. They started some small things. They had the Querete, not really shops, or mini shops, if you will, micro shops. A booth, they would sell chips, sugar. Hey! And they had one, maybe two, and then they wanted another. Well, it was just the first time they were thinking, and so they wanted, and I was making money with working with foreign media and so on. And they wanted $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Can't remember exactly how much. Not more than that, because they wouldn't be available and wouldn't be fine. So I gave him two and a half, and they wouldn't give it back. They wouldn't say anything. I lost touch. And sending a tran, a man who worked with me on tours. He was the guide for some tours. And I said, okay, would you go and see them and see what they do with that money? And her partner, what was his name? The guy with a mustache, Latino-looking fellow. Costa took a gun out and said the money. He didn't shoot. Alhamdulillah. And I was mad and furious with this. I mean, how? And this is one way the connections with relatives start, which is very bad, because the happiest people, studies show, positive psychology shows, I have good relations with family and friends. No connection. Well, I have a connection with my sister, but she's in Chicago. We speak rarely. Spoke 1 year ago, so. And not because, but just because we're so far away. And the way I am, and no friends. So, I'm happy with that. But Sorina, that's where I left and went to another story. At one point was accused of vagrancy. She had no job. So, secretaries to the police, the agent in the area, served some notice and imposed a fine. That was so. Back and back. I didn't like that perspective, and I decided, okay, this has to be postponed. I don't want to finish this university. And then I repeated 1 year of medical terms, the last 5 years of a long study session for geology, geophysics. And I also decided I need to, it's not sabbatical, it's to take an interruption as well. Interruption of studies. It had to be justified on medical reasons. I have this also. So, okay, I need to stop 2 years. But in order to have that, there's some paperwork, including it had to do also as a reason the fact that my father had died, and then you need some minimum days of hospital, of being in the hospital. So there you are. And I have the disease. I have the 2 documents. In fact, I had established a record, negative one. The youngest fellow to be diagnosed with ulcers. I was just 9. They looked and saw, and that was because they gave me something. Had given me something. It was just one. I had tuberculosis from apparently my uncle's son. And to cure that, they gave me cortisol, some drug which was probably curing TBC, temperatures, TB, but then it was eating up into the stomach. It gave me ulcers. So I had the diagnosis long established by the age of 23, 4. And I said, look, I need some days of cure. They gave me some days, and this is what I need. Clara was the name, and we had an interesting story there. But let me leave this for the next episode tomorrow.